Come in, sit a while. Warm your hands by the hearth. You are listening to the Inside Outlands podcast. All right, so I am your host, Mind Trip, and with me today is co-host Nate Ryle.
Hey, what's going on?
Hey, not too much. Playing some UO.
Gotta love the UO.
Guesting today, we have Papa Carl from the Beard Brothers, guild leader and Twitch extraordinaire.
Hello.
Yeah, this is our the only professional Twitch. No, I think there actually are other Twitch streamers. Your show is definitely popular.
It is pretty popular. I don't know if I'd say professional though.
It's the best UO Outlands has to offer, I think.
Oh, thanks, man. Appreciate it.
So, Papa Carl, let's hear about your journey into Ultima back in the day, or whenever you started, and how Beard Brothers formed, and whatever else you like to share about yourself.
So my journey into Ultima started. I was at Walmart with my mom. God, when I was a kid, I don't remember how old I was. I think it was like 1999, 2000. And we were walking around and we saw a disc for, maybe it wasn't Walmart. It was Third Dawn is when I originally first got really into it. My old man played it way back in the day, and I'd always jump on his account and fart around. But when he brought it home on the Third Dawn disc, it was pretty cool because I was old enough to where I could play it. My old man didn't really care if I played it or not. So I jumped on and logged on and started just playing Ultima. I had no idea what was going on, but I remember playing Ultima, Ultima 6, Ultima 7, Ultima 8, and really just loving the world that it was. And then getting onto this game that was all of that combined. Like, you had the virtues, you had, there was Lord British. It was just a really cool experience for me. So I got all my friends together and we all played Ultima Online together, running around, and we played all the way through probably 2002, like almost every day. I never actually got rid of my official UO account. I still have it. I can't remember how many months I've been subscribed to that thing, but for some reason I can't let that go.
You're still subscribed to it?
I'm still subscribed to Ultima Online.
Oh,
yes.
wow.
Yeah.
So
It's been one of those
have your
things.
house and everything too?
My house is still there. I still have the castle out there.
Wow.
Beard Brothers never actually got formed on the official servers. It wasn't until Ancorp 2 that the Beard Brothers officially got started. But I tried streaming before, and if you look at my stream history, I used to play first-person shooters. I think my first game was Stalker, and I'd never gotten. It's a great game, man, but no one wanted to watch it. No one wanted to watch this dude play this game. So one day I was like, fuck it. You know what? I'm done trying to play games that people want to watch. I'm just going to play a game that I want to play. And then if people want to come watch, that's cool. And I ended up watching or reading on Reddit was a ton of people about UO Ancorp 2, how awesome it was, and all the hate that it was generating. And people were pissed about how good Ancorp 2 was. So I was like, fuck it, I'll join on that. I'll play Free Shard, and here we go. And I just kind of jumped into it. I had no idea about the rule set. I didn't know about any of the special abilities, any of the drama. I just jumped into it, and that's where the Beard Brothers started, was on Ancorp 2.
Yeah, you're the second guest we had on that spent a lot of time on that server. I don't know anything about it. I know a lot about Real Pork. That's kind of where I got my start. Is it similar?
Honestly,
Shard.
I never played much on Relpor. Relpor had the smaller map, right?
Yes, yeah, it did.
So Ancorp kind of had the only thing that was really, in my opinion, really special about Ancorp was it had no mounts. It was a mountless system. So everywhere you go, you were on foot.
Yeah, it's the same as Relpor. It had no mounts too.
Wasn't it? You could be on roads on Relpor, right?
I think Relpor 2 you could be. I'm not sure about 1.
Faster travel when you're on a road.
Okay, cool.
Much smaller map in the crossroads where PvP happened all the time.
Never got onto. I ran into some medical issues and I had to stop streaming on Ancorp, and the Beard Brothers kind of dissolved on Ancorp 2, and it wasn't until about 8 months ago that the Beard Brothers started coming back up. So
So did you bring them back together for Outlands only, or are you were playing it elsewhere?
No, I just came back for Outlands. I started streaming again when I saw all the hype. I was following it for a while I was in the hospital, and I was like really excited for it. It was really cool, and I was really starting to like want to get going onto it, but I didn't know if I wanted to commit to streaming. And then 8 months ago, I can't remember when, and I just saw something that was cool. I think it was they finally launched some more of the dungeons, and I was like, "Fuck, dude, I gotta get into this, dude. I gotta like get on here and play." And I started doing it, and man, loved it.
So how long ago was it when you were on Ancourt?
Oh god, that had to be 2 years ago, probably.
Okay, so not too long though.
No, not too long. It was unfortunate having to stop streaming for the Beard Brothers. It was probably one of the coolest things that we had. I had so much fun on those old streams. Most of those are recorded on my YouTube channel, and it was probably one of the best experiences of my life running that misfit band of adventurers. It was great.
Yeah, I guess we should say Nate and I are in the guild with you.
Yeah, you guys are.
Nate got in first. He was like, "Hey, this is a cool guild." I'm like, "Whatever, sign me up." So I just kind of fell into it. Nate did a little more research than I did.
Yeah, I mean, you guys are PvE only,
Correct.
as your primary focus, and I am really freaking new. So I typically, when I get a new MMO, I go straight to the PvPers, get in their guild, have them show me what's going on. But unlike some of the other games, like I did that with Arcade, I did it with a couple other games, but UO is pretty overwhelming and hard to get into as a new player with zero nostalgia. So I kind of wanted to approach it a little more laid back and do dungeons, learn the game, learn the client without all the stress of what I know the PvP environment brings. Someone yelling at you, or why'd you heal me? Why'd you drop the spell? Or all the crazy tactics you had to do. So
yeah, you dropped at the wrong time, or yeah.
So I figure I'll take a more laid back approach and then dive into PvP later. And I mentioned this last time, but I think what I'll do is do the faction warfare stuff.
You know what? And I'm not object to PvP in itself. The biggest thing with the Beard Brothers is we want to help everybody. PvP is part of the game. Conflict is part of Ultima. To be able to say that we're not going to PvP is just not saying you're going to participate in part of the game. Factions are great, and what they did on Outlands is a fantastic thing. They made it an easy way for everyone to kind of join in. And if you're in a guild like us that is a PVM guild, but you want to do factions, that's fine. You're more than welcome to. And I will participate in PvP, duels, the arena. I'm just notoriously bad, and I don't want to have that pressure on anyone in the guild that they need to do that.
Yeah, you guys kind of have a stance where you're not going to go out PvPing.
Correct.
Right? If it comes to you, if it comes in your dungeon or at an interesting point, what's the corrupted shrines, something like that, you'll engage with it, but you're not going to go out on a roam and try to find people to kill.
Nope. We will never go hunting reds. We will never go trying to find anyone to randomly murder. But what we will do is we will stand our ground. We're no pushover. We're a very large guild with a lot of experienced players. If you are trying to cause us grief, we'll stand our ground and we'll push back.
Yeah, I mean, the first thing I've noticed too is the guild does work together. It's a really helpful environment, really open and welcome.
Yeah, it's Ultima has such a complex thing to it, and there's a lot of people here that have. I'm trying not to say how did Owyn put it? There's a lot of people judge you for a lot of builds, or will critique you on everything, and there's a lot of hate that can go around if you do a certain thing or play a certain way, and that's not what I want. I want to make a guild that's open and available for everyone to come and hang out. And to just experience, in my opinion, the greatest game that was ever made. I mean, heck, it's 20 years old this year, or 21 years old this year, and here we are.
Yeah, we're all still playing this crazy game instead of like what came out this week? Red Dead 2.
Red Dead 2, yeah.
All of my gaming buddies are playing Fallout 76 tonight, and I'm on a podcast talking about Outlands with you guys.
It's true. No, it's like I was talking before the stream or the podcast, and I just got Metal Gear Solid, and I'm pumped to play it. But here we are, Ultima Outlands, 20-year-old game. But man, I fucking love this thing. It's so great.
There is a real. It's a true statement that just because a game is old, it was great then and it's great now, and you just have to have the patience to get over the learning curve and readjust to the old client.
That's something that the Beard Brothers, I wanted to make sure is that we help people with that. People getting back in it that played it back in the day, or people that are just seeing it now, because pixel graphics are really in, and Ultima has that kind of pixely graphics style. And I wanted to make sure that the guild that we have accepted everybody, all walks of life. You play 1 day a week, you got a family, doesn't matter, man. Come in and have fun with us that one day, and then let's go. Let's not make this game any harder than it needs to be.
So we had launch day. All the crazy shenanigans of launch day. Before we talk about what we did, I've not noticed a lot of PvP yet, and I'm wondering if it's coming. I guess everyone's hammering their builds, and it's taking longer than it usually does because the server's a little slower skill-wise. So is next week in the dungeons going to be hell? Or because I've been able to PvE pretty unharmed. I had 1 or 2 encounters that were pretty harmless. And I'm wondering if the ganking is going to start rolling out here real soon. I don't know what to expect, basically.
Nah, you should. This is my first server launch. I've never been on part of a server launch before, but knowing just from my, just talking with other people that I've made friends with in other guilds, they're basically skilling up. They're basically getting up in the their skills so that way they can actually take on some people, and also their gear. I would expect in the next couple of weeks, the PKing is going to get a little harder, or you're going to start seeing groupings. But it's even more important of just making sure that you stay in a guild and stay in a group to kind of prevent that from happening.
So like I watched your stream the other day. You had 8-10 guys, and you're going through Emissary. What's the
name? Monazalem.
Yes, and then after that, you lost a guy or 2, and then you went to Inferno. Mm-hmm. So, and you're all in PvE build. I think you're all in your early game warrior builds. Mm-hmm. So let's say a group rolls in to kill you. What do they need to take down a group like that? Just
more members than what we have.
Yeah, just wait for you to be, weak on something. And
yeah, so a lot of, and I'm probably going to kill myself by telling like how people do this, but the easiest way to get rid of a mob, like a group of us, is one person. If you go and you pull a mob and then you bring it into the group, and then you run past the group, and then you hide once you're out of range. And then when they're fighting that group, then you come in, you grief them a little bit, and you run out. There's a guy when we were on beta and I was streaming called Bounty Hunter. And oh my God, this guy this guy could wreck us. One guy could take out at least 8 of us, because he would go and he would run into groups of like mobs that we were trying to fight that were strong. It would take a lot. And then he would pull them into us, run through, hide, so the aggro would come onto us. Then while we're in the middle of fighting it, he would come in and start hitting us, making us, scatter, trying to find out what's going on. And dude, this guy has attacked us 3-4 times. I don't know who he is, but he's really good at PvP.
Yeah, that sounds like a nightmare.
Yeah, it's not a nightmare. It's part of that game. It's just what makes it awesome is those interactions that you get with people. It's the experience that you have. And, death doesn't bother me. I die in Ultima and I just laugh at it half the time. There's a joke on my stream that half the time when you're watching it, it's me in the death window, because I'm just always running back to a healer. But I have no fear of it. I always run forward, and I want to be the first one in battle. But it's part of the experience, and same with murderers. That's part of it. But it's the same. You just have to have a good family, good guild to go with. So
yeah, it sounds like you're one of those not rare, but one of the PvEers that likes a harsh game world, a harsh environment where there's a little bit of challenge and risk to your actions. And I think Ultima, at least this shard, definitely going to give that to us.
Oh yeah.
I'm curious though, how what the disparity between the builds are, and and we're out there in our PvE builds, how much can we fight a PvP group rolling in on us, if that's even a possibility?
It is a complete possibility. I mean, even like my main Dexter, if we take Reno here, he has resist and parry. If you just have resist or even parry on a build, you'll be able to function in a PvP battle. Resist spells is going to be a very necessary thing to survive on a PvP side, I guess you would say, but it's not necessary if you have the proper healing. If you also have pots on you to where you can heal, and you can heal through poison, then it's going to help out a lot.
Okay. Maybe it won't be so bad. I think my Dexter build right now does have both resist and parry. I don't know that I'll keep it all the way, but
I honestly wouldn't fret it too much. A lot of people, it's the anxiety I think that gets to people and that threat of someone coming. But in my God, I've been playing every day since launch day, at least 10 to 12 hours a day. I've been ganked twice. I've seen other people that have tried, but if you fight back, usually either they'll run away because they realize that you're not going to fight. But half the time when they attack you, unless they're like a professional PKer, they're going to run.
I mean, plus it's all replaceable. Like you just go get a new set of gear and go back out.
Yeah, exceptional gear in the game is really, really good. So magic items are easy to come by. I mean, there's already at our guild house, we have tons of them. So if you lose something, it's not a big deal.
Now, we do have the aspect gear in the game. No one's wearing it yet. And it can be blessed one time. So you can die in it once a day. So that'll be interesting when a lot of these people are out there in dungeons with their aspect gear and they get rolled over once. Do you take it back out again?
I wouldn't.
Or do you stash it?
So you're saying it comes with a bless, or you have to use bless deed, or what?
So it comes part of it after you create the aspect gear. It if I'm correct, every 24 hours it'll bless itself back again.
Yeah, so you get one chance with it a day. I guess you could have more than one suit, right?
You can have one of each aspect. You can have every aspect. I'm sure you could have 5 of everyone.
So you just go jam it in the bank if you get killed?
Just come back and roll another one. But that's that risk reward, is the better your gear is, the stronger you are. Like you can fight off someone better, but when you die, it's that much more painful.
Looks like Owyn's trying to crash your interview here.
He likes to talk. No, I'm joking.
We did get a question from Parasite Cletus. He says, I think I heard Papa has kids. What is a good age to get my son started lumberjacking mining for me?
You know what? I'm gonna say probably 4. As soon as they can click a button, they're pretty good. Get them set up on a good macro, man. You're able to rock and roll.
What's your conversion rate for gold to pennies or dollars?
Oh, to pennies or dollars?
Yeah.
He gets out of his chores. So if he's mining for me, he gets out of his chores.
I've got a pretty good story. I had taught my son how to mine in Eve. This must have been 8 years ago. And so I taught him how to undock, how to get to the belt, how to mine, and mainly how to just drag the ore from my ship over, right? And then I think so I walked away. I was making dinner a couple weeks later. He'd been doing this for a couple weeks, and he had to be 4 or 5. And I had a jump freighter, which is, I don't know, an immensely expensive ship, the most expensive thing I owned. And he undocked in that sucker in low sec. And,
oh no.
I freaked out.
Oh no.
Put dinner down, ran over there. And I had to be cool about it. I couldn't yell at a 4 or 5-year-old, but I got it docked back up and everything was cool.
Nate yells on the inside.
Yeah. So be careful what you show him. I guess he's on a tune, just don't teach him how to log in a character, I guess.
Yeah, right. Yeah, luckily he can't type very well, and he's just learning his letters. So he's good at captchas because he knows numbers, but he can't spell yet. So I don't think he can log onto my tunes quite yet.
Oh yeah, you Outlands. I guess they have to be old enough to count.
Yep, got to be able to count. So technically, it's not AFK macroing Owyn. I'm just saying he can count and he can read it, so he knows what he's doing.
All right, let's talk about launch. So I know you guys had a pretty good plan at launch, and I made the first hour. I think Mind Trip was there about 8 hours of it, You were there all day, Carl. So
14 hours, I think I logged on the first day. 14, 15.
yeah, it's crazy. So how did Beard Brothers turn out?
Beard Brothers did great. I can't say how happy I am to have the guild or the people that are in my guild. In the first 4 hours, I think it was 4 hours, we had our first house down. Within 6 hours, we had our second house down, and then within the first day, we had our guild stone down. It was a huge group effort, and I cannot thank every one of my Beard Brothers that participated in that enough. We don't exist without the members that are inside of our ranks, and I'm no better than any one of them. It's just they are the ones that helped me achieve the goal for us. And we started, because of that start, we have an amazing foundation for the rest of the game.
Yeah, I think we were the first guild.
We are the first guild on the shard. Yeah, we were the first guild on the server. Beard Brothers had the first tags.
10,000 gold for a guild stone, right?
50,000 gold for the guild title, and then 10,000 for the guild stone.
Holy shit. Yeah, no wonder we were the first guild. We were the only idiots to put that down, Dave. Instead of a third house or something.
I know it seems really weird, but it's that guild that's that camaraderie, it's that togetherness that they love. And, a guild that puts that dedication to get that together, and then they're rocking the BB tag. Oh, man, it's great.
It's
plus,
a good idea.
We really like green in the Beard Brothers.
Oh, green is great. I know there's so much green everywhere.
All right, we got another question. 2 months from now, how do you see yourself making money? Still crafting, house market, high-level PvE events?
I plan on doing... sorry, go ahead.
I'm just going to say all of the above, probably.
Yeah, we have a lot of people that are dedicated crafters, and there's going to be no shortage. I mean, heck, there's 1,000 people on the server right now, and Owyn, if he's in chat and listening still, 1,000 people last I heard. I don't know how many are on there right now, but there's a lot of need of gear. And right now you go in and you see like, oh, look, there's 5 macing staffs, or there's 5 sets of armor. That's just 5. There's 1,000 people, 1,031 on this shard right now. So that's absurd. So there's going to be a need for gear. Myself, I have zero patience for crafting. I get really bored. I feel like I'm letting my guild members down by not running dungeons. So I'm going to be doing high level PvE.
Yeah, I think there is a lot of players on here. We hit over 1,100. Definitely crafting's a big part of it. I'm going to try, but that grind is crazy. I don't know that I ever finish it. But more power to players that do.
Right?
I do love the vendor system, though. So I will probably find a way to feed a vendor, but it might be through something like treasure hunting or fishing or pirating in a boat, something like that. Where you get drops I could put on a vendor.
The thing that's interesting about this Outlands is everything has a purpose. When you're killing a monster and you skin it, or you kill anything and there's like a magic weapon on it, everything has a point and has a purpose. So even if like we have people that are like, I can't donate much, or I want to help out the guild, all I have is this leather, is that okay? And I'm like, fuck yeah, that's okay. Anything that can be used is necessary. And in Outlands especially, it's even more so because of how not rare everything is, but how intensive everything is. So every little bit counts, and you don't need to sit there and think about like, oh, how am I going to make money? It's just through adventuring, you're going to be able to make money.
All right, back to launch. So we got 2 houses and the guild stone down, and we put a house down. What's that city in the northeast you put down for the vendor house?
That's of Andaria.
And Daria. Okay. I didn't realize that was a big trade hub. I guess because the city's really easy to use.
It's right there.
Yeah, you go to the UO Outlands vendor marketing thing, the Discord, and you just see everyone has an Andaria house in there. So I guess that might end up being a big market trade hub.
Yeah, it was funny. We before launch, my captains, I felt so bad for the 3 of us. My 2 captains were Grizzly Ghost and Stormy. I'm sure you guys know who those 2 are.
Oh, yeah.
And we went back and forth for weeks on like, where do we want to put our guild house? And it was because there were so many good spots and so many things that really made sense. But yeah, Andaria is one of those amazing ones.
Well, I guess the guild house importance you can kind of put that in a scenic thing, and then you kind of want a vendor house somewhere. where where the market's going to be. But you can get a nice big guild house somewhere that's just really pretty. What do you think you did? You got yours right by a waterfall.
Yeah, no, we when I first was running around exploring on stream, I saw that spot and I was like, heck yeah, this is exactly where I want to go. So we wanted it away from where we can have enough, where we can gather, where you can group, where you can have events. If we wanted to do a sparring tournament, we can easily do that there without having to worry about too many people or too many houses, and room for us to grow Beard City. So
Beard City.
Yep.
You guys,
that's one thing that's awesome
roads.
about this guild is there are beard puns for everything.
It's true. The beard. I get told a lot to tone it back. That some people are like, Carl, it's getting a little outrageous. And I'm like, no. If you guys look at our t-shirts, the Beard Brother t-shirts, oh my God, they get outrageous. There's a lot of them on there.
I forget. I hopped in Discord and I said something, and you did a big long thing. Power of the beard. Beard will unite us. With beard is beard one. It was like ready? A 3-sentence thing, and I was, oh my God, this is so good.
I can say it for you guys if you want. It's amazing.
I read it to my wife, and she was like, "Oh, you have to get this guild." And she usually half listens to things that I talk about gaming, and then sure, a day later, she's like, "Did you get in that guild?" I was like, "Yeah, I got." I just had to tell them I was interested. Yeah, she was a fan after reading that one line.
For a couple days, I thought I had joined the RP guild, and it was just all about beard RP.
And then you always get the question, do I have to have a beard?
Every day, at least 100 times.
No, it's your inner beard that matters.
It's what's inside that counts. It's if you have the beard on the inside, that's all that matters. It's because we are the beard. We only we need only faith in the beard, for is the beard that will sustain us. We trust the beard, for is it the beard and the beard alone that will lift us up.
There you go.
Yeah, we do have some females in the guild. They don't have beards, but they have that inner beard.
There are beard sisters, man. Yeah. They are. Everyone is welcome, the Beard Brothers. Yeah.
If you happen to be a lady with an actual beard, that's cool too. I mean,
more power to you. If
to
you
each
got
his
it,
own.
Yeah, to each its own. If you got it, rock it, yo.
All right. So, how else do you feel the launch went? I mean, I think it was really stable. Well, I had a little bit of lag, but then it kind of went away. But I wasn't on as long as you guys were. So,
there was lag, but to be honest, for any website or anything that just opens up and to get bombarded by, I think it was 800 players on launch that was there, it held up really well. There was one crash right away, and then after that, it was a little laggy, but within 20 minutes, it was good. There was like no issues.
Oh yeah. I mean, the lag did not kill me, so I was happy.
Yeah, and we ran through an area that had a lot of things that could kill us. And I was terrified as we were running to the place where we were grinding gold that we were just going to get like murdered because the lag was going to go. People were going to get disconnected. Everybody was just going to get screwed. Oh, man.
Well, and you had this nice diagram for here, go here, meet here, take this moon gate. Then we're going here. Then we're going here. And so I'm following it. I get fucking lost. And I'm trying to meet up with Mind Trip. And he's being patient, waiting on me. And then I die. Can't find my corpse. So I rolled a new guy, finally met him, and then we got to the place and got going. I died right away. Even with a map to show me exactly what to go do.
We were probably live for 10 minutes. We got to the spot and I was the first person to die in the group. So I understand, man. Don't worry. I was like, I wonder if I had server
feel better.
Yeah, I think I had server first death. I wasn't sure, but I ran to the group. There was a mage, and I was like, you know what? If we all jump this mage, we'll kick his ass, and we won't have to worry about it. Yeah, it didn't work so well. Zap, dead.
Yeah, we went to the Ratman, which is, I think, a good call because you pumped up your resist really early, but you had to be extra careful.
Yeah, we ran tests for 2 months, 3 months. Of different places that we wanted to go for launch, and we went through all kinds of different iterations of like how we were going to be try and do this. And the first time that we went to that island we went to, we ran there first without any resist and we got destroyed. So we tried it the day before earlier where we just did the Ratman, and our skills were insane, but we had no money. So that's when we decided to do the Ratman first, get the skills up, and then go down.
Yeah, it worked really well. You guys got there before me because I kept waiting for Nate, but that was cool. He was still learning some stuff, and when I finally got there, man, you guys had it like worked out, and you had found essentially a secret island. I won't disclose where it's at, but I'm sure a few players have found it by now. So we were on this island just farming to ourselves, and that's how we got the houses down because we didn't have much competition there.
We had an entire day of
great.
Uncontested farming. We had one person come to the island, and that was like after we already placed the first house. So we were good to go. And then it was great too because it allowed us to be able to have a lot of freedom to learn and freedom to experience everything.
Yeah, that's a good call because there's definitely a lot of dust to shake off, even and the anxiety of having however many guys you had there, 10, 14 there, trying to coordinate all that.
Yeah, we had, I think it was, oh God, let me see if I have that spreadsheet open still.
We had a couple groups going.
We had at least, I want to say 18 people total, because we had the Beard Brothers were the main group, and then we had our Stubble Beards that were running around outside of the group. And we had, so it was almost, I want to say almost 25 people total launch day.
What was really sweet is we had a runner on horseback that would bring us whatever we needed, bandages, kindling or whatever, and then we would give them all the gold to take it back and bank it so we could just keep grinding. It worked really well.
Yeah, we wanted to make sure that we didn't get interrupted, and the biggest thing was horses because they're expensive, and where we originally wanted to go was inside of a dungeon, but we originally pretty quickly found out that that's just not going to work. So what we did is we ended up having someone do a camper, and then they would be able to hike back to town and drop off all our gold and stuff.
And we had one guy in the guild, Stormy. He was just going nuts. I don't know if he's a machine, but he bought his house by himself like the first day.
Yeah, Stormy he was kind of our contingency plan for. There was two things we didn't want to do. We didn't want to get griefed. We didn't want to disclose how much money we got because we didn't want someone stealing the house deed. So what we had is Stormy had his own plan that he was going to do, and he was going to go off. But the problem with Stormy's plan is it took a lot of time. So he couldn't do it on his own because if he was just by himself, it would have been like 3-4 hours before he was ready to go. And that we were afraid the vendor house was going to be gone. So, but he was our contingency. So we would grind our gold and everything extra he'd be able to provide. So that way we would be able to buy our house before everyone thought we were going to. After we got the first house, he was ready to go. And then that dude just went ape shit. Stormy went ballistic on it. And I think he's still the number one earner.
2 days ago it was 400,000 something.
Yep.
Yeah. That dude's ridiculous. Yeah. Some people play this game on another level. I think I've made 6,000 gold. Of course, I've been busy with work this week too, but
see, I had the pleasure of having a week off of vacation this week, so my family's been nice about letting me collect them as I've played this game ridiculously a lot. But I go back to work next week, so
the name of the newbie island keeps slipping my mind. I always call it Newbie Island, but shout out to those guys that were there beating on the NPC, the gray NPC dummies. Those dummies have put in some work this week. There's got to be like 400 people down there beating on them every day.
I think if they had one thing they could have done better was like right as you spawn, literally it'd be like, don't go macroing, don't go beating up these dummies, go play the freaking game, go experience it.
Yeah. I'm guilty of having a second and third account beating on the dummies, but I did play the first account.
No, that's all. I'm actually going to go show that on stream right now. See if how many people are. Oh, yep. Oh, God.
Yeah. So I keep telling people in new player on the official Discord, the new player channel, the control shift trick. So you can like pull out that gray bar. There were so many people beating on that poor dummy. No one could target them if they were new to the game. They just didn't know what to do.
Yeah, I had talked a buddy of mine into trying the game at launch day. He had never played Euro, and that was a bad idea. I wish I'd told him like a week later.
Come experience it when it's done.
Yeah, he's okay. I have this cert. I'm supposed to give it to this guy. How do I give it to him to train this skill he wanted? And I'm trying to, okay, just drag it onto him. Yeah, it's just simple things that you take for granted and you as being easy and intuitive, but they're not for someone that has never played it.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, and I think the game probably needs like a tutorial of some sort to help that.
I doubt that it ever will, but that's something I want to like. Again, I don't mean to keep plugging the freaking Beard Brothers, but that's something that I really want to do. Like, I stand in Shelter Island and I'll hand out food. I'll ask people if they have any questions or help. I'm very frequent in the guild forums to make sure if anybody has any questions or they need help, that we're looking for ways to help anybody.
Yeah, in many ways, this is the most open or easiest for a new player to get into. It has a lot of features that are pretty good for new players, as far as the UI and the gumps and the help menu and the Atlas itself. Camping.
The Atlas is great.
A lot of that stuff is. It just needs kind of a guided first 10 minutes, 15 minutes. I think Owyn mentioned something about them working on that.
He just said it's in the works.
Yeah.
There it is.
I thought it was a great new player experience, but that's coming from me. I had no idea what goes through a newbie's mind.
That's what you vets forget.
There's a lot that goes on when you first jump into this game. You're literally put there, and then here you go. I think there's like 64 skills, and good luck, have fun, motherfuckers. That's all you get. It's just there's nothing to it. It's like what works together, and then especially on this shard, how everything actually on this shard it makes much more sense, because when you think about like fishing, helping, being able to use a spear, but Owyn's talk about it now is being able to bring in and retain new players to treat this like this is a new game, and to not an old game.
Well, he can't underestimate or that trailer is really good. I showed it to my brother who doesn't play MMOs, he plays Counter-Strike and Call of Duty. But he loves pixel art games too, the indie pixel art games. I showed him that trailer for UO, and instantly, when does that come out? I want to play that. But I'd hate to drop him in without me like right over his shoulder coaching him,
Yeah, I felt bad that we had a couple of people that were on launch that were asking for help and asking, new player questions, and we were trying to help them and talk to them, get them into the game, but it was just really difficult right at the beginning. But it can be very intimidating at first.
At least it doesn't have the Eve learning curve.
Oh God,
it's got that going for it.
I play Eve, but I still don't know what I'm doing half the time. I end up dying. Yeah. Someone ends up killing me.
So I had the thought this week. I was like, I'd really like to keep these new players, because for every new player we get, they may bring a friend in, and it could grow exponentially. So I've been trying to put in a little time over there in the new player section of Discord. I'm still learning myself, so if I don't answer, I'm listening, and I'll look up what I can. But there's a few things I haven't figured out where to look up yet, so still working on it.
I know.
Yeah, I'm doing the same thing. I don't spend as much time in Discord as Owyn seems to do, but I whenever I do hop in there, I'll swing by the new player and see if I can answer a question or two, or the client launcher. I think I've run through every issue you can on one of my 5 computers, so I have a pretty good idea of how to fix most of the launcher issues, which is probably my biggest gripe of launch is the having to drop in a brand new exe file. They just did that today where everyone has to put in a brand new UO Outlands exe file. That is
Owen's screaming inside of his head right now.
It's so weird. And like we showed one of our buddies finally got the game to work, and he is the worst to get anything technical. And I'm going to have to tell him to drag an exe file over to get back in the game. I mean, it's doable. I just wonder why the launcher doesn't update and patch itself right.
I think what it was is that they were talking about it when it happened, that they needed to do it was like an emergency fix. And Owyn's saying you just have to double click it. But I think what it was is that they didn't want to do just a patch for that right away. I'm guessing. I don't know. But I think it was an emergency fix. I know the launcher, I remember Luthus saying that he was going to be updating it soon.
Yeah, I think I had it at one point install a whole new directory inside my directory.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I fixed that. But okay, if you can just get that new exe and double click it from wherever it is and have it fix the game, yeah, that's fine, I guess.
I think you said, yeah, I think that's what he's saying.
Yeah.
Yo.
Anything else about launch that you guys want to cover? Or?
I'm gonna jump in here.
Oh yeah, give me talk.
There he goes. How's it going, Owen?
Oh man, we need to have a post-mortem about launch. I've got so much to say, so much to talk about. I think we're going to host something tomorrow, actually, on Expo's Twitch. We'll have sort of a question and answer period about launch and just talk about how things have gone and our biggest regrets and what we'd change. So I'll save most of that for tomorrow.
Yeah, I had thought about asking you on, but I was like, you and Lucius took the whole week off work. I'm sure you guys are busy, so I just left you alone.
We're always busy. I think, honestly, I didn't expect or have any understanding of what it would be like to run a shard this busy. But I think we're kind of over the initial hump, and most of that hump was directly related to tech support, which is definitely my biggest regret, is all of this patch server shenanigan bullshit, to put it lightly. If I could have done anything differently, it would have been to have the patch server located somewhere else off the bat. That's what that initial lag was caused from. When we first opened the shard, it was hundreds of people downloading the game for the first time at 11 o'clock. And the patch server obviously takes up way more bandwidth than the game does itself. I mean, I think the game server could literally run on like a cable connection. It's using such little bandwidth right now, but the patch server takes so much. So in that 3-hour period between when we launched and when we had the patch server up and running, I completely missed launch. I moved the patch server to a brand new server, reloaded everything. We had to recode it to point it to a new IP, get it up and get it out to people, because for some reason the updater stopped working at that point, because the patcher has always auto updated and the version that we had to release didn't auto update. So it was just one snowball effect after another. But now we have it to a place where, I mean, I think I've distributed that patcher to probably hundreds of people now. And as long as you download that new exe that we released on the website and put into the announcements channel, you'll be good to go. So just double click that exe. It'll auto update the patcher. We'll follow the registry key that you have. If you have any issues, talk to me, and I'll help you out. But yeah, it's been a pain, but it's working now. So we're steady sailing from here on out.
No, this has been a great launch. I mean, we all have been able to get in and play our characters and progress them, and not many games, even things that should launch okay because they've been around a long time. I'm thinking like an Arcade relaunch recently, the Darkfall games, those were all shit shows the first week or two.
Yeah, so all things considered, this launch has been extremely smooth. I think from the inside, we're seeing a bit of a different perspective, but from the player's perspective, I think it's gone quite well. We definitely have some latency issues. The website is driving me crazy right now. It's way too slow. So is the wiki. So it's frustrating to get information out to people, but all of that's under control and in the works, and people are working on it. So it's just a matter of fine-tuning those aspects of things. In terms of DDoS, we haven't been attacked, knock on wood. So that was unexpected, but appreciated. So thank you to whoever didn't pull that trigger. We had a few funny bugs, but thankfully Lucius was around. The main one was you might have noticed if you were playing, we had a 1 minute countdown, like, oh, server's going down, and just shut it off because I got a message from a nice Australian guy who said, hey, can we jump on voice for a second? I found a bug. So I hopped on voice with him and he said, so I found a gold dupe. I went, oh, shit.
Oh, no.
Here we go. So immediately took the shard down. Within 45 minutes, we had a complete fix for it, and it was up, and we audited everything, and he was the only one who had discovered it. And thankfully, we were able to proceed, but it basically allowed you to make endless bank checks.
Oh, man.
So that was a good catch. That was the main thing. But for all things considered, it's been extremely smooth, and our numbers continue to grow. I think, here, I'll tell you right now, there are 1,052 players online, and we really haven't dropped below a steady 1,000. Today we hit 1,200. So the shard continues to grow at a rapid pace, and I'm getting hundreds of messages a day from people saying, like, man, this is the best UO's ever been. We're having so much fun. thank you so much. I'm telling all of my friends, people who, played OSI 15 years ago are coming through and saying, where have you been? Like, this is everything we've been waiting for. This looks amazing. And they're coming back. So the next step is just to retain and move forward and keep great content coming out.
Yeah,
Anyway,
I think it's gonna keep growing. I don't think you're done seeing record numbers yet.
Yeah, we're hopeful for sure. I think it's pointing in the right direction. If you look historically at charts that have big launches, they continue to grow, and population begets population. Sadly, a lot of people don't really even care about the content so long as there are people to play with. But I think we've hit a really nice balance between people to play with and great content. So it's a good mix of success moving forward, hopefully.
Well, thanks for hopping on and setting it straight.
Yeah, sorry about the patcher. Man, I pulled my hair. I mean, I don't even have any hair, but I pulled my hair out for 3 straight days, and I think I team viewered into about 500 people's computers to set up their game and got them all in.
I was one of them.
It was endlessly frustrating for me. I could have killed the guy that built it, but we're all doing this for the love of the game, and hopefully it's smoother moving forward.
Killed the guy that built it. Who built it?
Forspire.
Okay.
Who I'm grateful for. He's a very talented developer, and he literally worked 3 days straight to get us back on track from where it was to where we are now. And, he doesn't ask for much, and he's a stay-at-home dad programmer who has, similar love for the game as we do. But it was certainly... There were times when I felt like he was sabotaging us, to be honest. I was ready to, call a hit. Alas, there we are. We're good. Anyway, I'll let you keep going. Thank you very much for joining Outlands and giving it a shot for launch. And we should have a fix tonight that alleviates a bit of this movement lag that we're noticing, especially with pets. So there will be a reboot at some point once Luthien gets all that code together. Stay tuned.
He's a beast.
Yeah, he's amazing. He went back to work today, sadly, but I think he programmed for Outlands all day. Anyway, have a good night, guys. See you later.
See you later, brother.
Yeah, thanks, man. That's the beauty of a live podcast. We get to have the developer hop on and give us live feedback.
It's just funny watching him talking to in chat. You could just see it was just tearing at him. He's just screaming at his mic.
This is going to be 99% glowing. I just wanted to drop in one complaint. And I know they're screaming about it. So we got anything else about launch before we move on to the next topic, or?
I really can't say enough for how well I thought launch went for something that was just launched, and it went so well. I think the Beard Brothers, you guys did fantastic. If any of you are watching this, holy shit, I'm so appreciative of everything that you guys did. Both you two, Mind Trip and Natural, I really appreciate everything you guys did for us. Without you guys, we couldn't have achieved our goals. So I really appreciate you guys. Thank you so much.
Yeah, my 1 hour in on the Ratman, without that, we never would have had 2 houses down. But I guess I propelled Mind Trip to the next 8 hours with you guys.
Yeah, you did. Those Ratmen are tough to solo because of the stupid mages.
Okay, what's our next topic here? We had some patch notes. There's not much in it really to cover, so maybe we'll have more next week. I think the really only interesting thing in here is that everyone's put on the small houses, and they put a fix in, or I guess a tweak in, to where a chain lightning, meteor swarm, or an earthquake can't reach into the house and AoE players macroing, or just being in their house, I guess.
Yeah,
and that was a thing on Real Poor. I remember getting jacked with in Real Poor like that. So I guess making these small houses usable is cool.
So I've heard Owyn talk to people in chat about that, and he's just wanting to give those new players a good experience and not make these small houses useless. So overall, it's great. It's just there's a little there's a few PKs kind of pissed off, but
I think there's more of the few vocal minority that are angry about it compared to the rest that are probably very happy over it. Myself, I'm very happy over it. One of the biggest annoyance to me, like you're in your house and you're organizing and someone comes up and earthquakes you, and it pisses me off. I'm glad that my house is a safe zone.
Yeah. You work hard for it, and you want it to be that way.
And these houses are costing a lot of money. We need to get some good use out of them.
Yeah, and especially from the small one, you're not really like you don't have any safe spots. Like in a big house, you might be able to go to the top left corner and avoid and be able to work around. But in a small house, you're just a sitting duck. You either walk out, get murdered, or you die in your house, and then they can sit there and grief you. But at least here, now you're safe.
Were they able to loot your body through the house that way, or no?
No, it's not line of sight, so you won't be able to do it. So even if you died in your house.
My original plan was to get like another house and kind of keep my second account in that house at all times and call them grandma and just put grandma in the guest house and let people kill her and kind of distract them.
There you go.
Give me a second to, protect myself.
Little dummy over there. Be like, here you go.
So now I don't have to put grandma in the guest house.
Yeah, no, you're good. You should be safe. I'm really happy that that's a change in there. I know, like I said, I know some PKs are really upset, but I think it's a vocal minority.
All right. Our next topic is builds. I think you're the expert we know for summoners. There's probably other people out there that know summoners more. Also, you had a pretty interesting pirate build. Maybe talk about that, and if you got any kind of new bro, or that's an Eve term, new player builds that they should use when they hop on, maybe.
So the summoner build, we'll start with that one there. It, in my opinion, is probably one of the most powerful builds that exist. If you guys don't know, in Ultima, on the 8th level spells, you can summon a demon. In Outlands, you can take Spirit Speak and you can charge up these Spirit Stones. And these Spirit Stones kind of, I guess, fuel your summons, and you can summon a elder demon or an elder elemental, and then if at a full spell or 50% of a spell stone, you can summon a ancient demon. You have to be over a certain level of Spirit Speak. I want to say it's GM Spirit Speak to do an ancient, but they are ridiculously strong. They are at least 3 to 4 times more powerful than a regular summon. And we did, oh man, I probably did 2 or 3 streams of where I was just playing as that summoner, and we were able to go down almost to every bottom floor with ease and protect every beard brother that we had. The main part is that we had what was it, the Provo on there. So we had Provo, Provoking, and we also had Discord. And that build is just fantastic. So you're able to control what's going on in the battle. So you can keep aggro on your pets, and then you can peacemake ones that aren't close enough to you. You're able to discord them, which makes them weaker, and it just works so fantastic. And the best part is when they die, you just summon them again, and away you go. And when you're killing high level mobs, boom, you're able to keep resummoning them.
Oh, so this is like a bard summoning hybrid type of thing.
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds like a lot of fun.
It is probably the most fun I've had. I never really used a bard that much before. I've used it on a bard dexer. I did a stream of that too. And it's fun, but it wasn't like some of the mobs towards the end were really hard to piece or really hard to discord. But if you have those summons there, they take the aggro off of you, and then you're able to let them take the punches as you're trying to piece or discord them over and over.
I just had the thought it'd be cool if necromancy's added to PvE eventually, and you could combine it with summoning and summon some like skeletal demons or something.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Yeah, I would love that.
I'm really into the demons. I play Dungeons and Dragons with Nate sometimes, and as a joke, I always PayPal him $6.66 to help pay for the D&D modules.
Oh, nice.
Yep, Hell Satan.
That's gonna get clipped. That's all it's gonna be.
Oh yeah. No, that's an awesome build. I didn't play with Summoner in beta, mainly because I wanted beta to be very brief, like what I'm going to do at launch, and I want to cover things through play when the game was out. So I think I'm leaning I want to make a bard next, but I've been leading also summoner or just an actual tamer. I may make all three and then pick one and go.
Tamer, I just started that today, and I don't. It's so boring, man. I would do a summoner. I would at least go play with Majory, and you get to run around and have some more. But goddamn, taming is boring. So boring.
Yeah, you're not its biggest fan. Although
No.
When you play on other shards or on the official, man, tamers are everywhere.
Yeah, it's because they're so overpowered, but there's no real balancing that's gone on the original ones. They keep adding, but they don't balance stuff. And on here, they balanced it and they made it so they're powerful, but they're not overpowered. There's a lot of AoE attacks you got to watch out for that can hit you. Before, you would send your dragon onto a mob, and then that mob would sit there and just smack at it. The fire breath would only hit that. But now there's an AoE attack. So if you're sitting there trying to heal, then the AoE attack would hurt you. And if you weren't wearing armor or you didn't have healing, then you were screwed. So it made you rethink how you were going to have your build.
Oh, okay.
Because if you like on my tamer build, I have healing for the fact of how am I going to heal myself? If I take Majory, then that's another point that I need to waste and I have to carry Regenants. It's too much.
On official OSI, people will start a tamer and put all this gear on that gives them points in taming. So they end up with like 85, 90 points in taming, and they just roll the character. So that's one reason you'll see so many tamers on the official shard now.
Yeah.
All right, let's talk about this the pirate build you made, because one cool thing is just all the various skills that they put in here, and one of them is what they've kind of through the alchemy, and the use you can get out of pots now. And I was watching you pirate with this thing, throwing those explosion pots across the other ship, and it looked like a lot of fun. Plus, you had 2 demons with you.
Yeah. So it was along the the summoner build. I wanted to come out with the best PvE pirate build possible, and so we sat on stream and we took what I thought was like the best skills, and like, we'll I'm getting told on stream right now that I hate tamers, so if they heard me,
it's okay. We'll get a tamer guy on here and we'll hear all about taming.
You should get Stormy. He'll be like, Carl knows nothing. It is the best on earth. Oh, they left their pet in front of me. Oh no. So I wanted to find out like what would be the best pirate build. Like what could we do to be the ultimate, like, yar, I'm a pirate, send you to Davy Jones' locker, all that stuff. And so we tried all kinds of different builds. We tried poison, but what came out to be the best was alchemy and spirit speak. So you would summon ancient demons and they would take most of the aggro and do a shit ton of damage. And then in between, you would sit there and throw pots, and you would also use a crossbow, and you would sit there and you just shoot them. And you can heal through alchemy. You can heal through the little Majory we had, and then the demons were doing it. So not only were you were hucking arrows, we had demons going, we had poison on them, we were throwing pots at them. It was a fantastic build. It works so well.
It was a lot to juggle though too. Watching you juggle all that.
Oh yeah, it was so many hotkeys and buttons.
It's not very clear too what is allowed to go over to the other boat and what doesn't work. And you probably have figured that out by now, but because you can't do AoE spells, but then you were able to do the demons. You can't melee obviously, but your bow and arrow or your crossbow is working.
You can melee. So I don't know if you noticed when you get the guns or the hold down to a certain level, it says you're able to board, and then you can actually board and send the boarding party over, and then you're able to go melee them down to death.
Yeah, that would take probably an entirely different set of skills though.
Me and Nate failed horribly at boarding. It's hard to do it simultaneously.
You really need to make sure you send your followers over first.
Yes, that's what was happening. I was landing and the mind trip's going, I can't get over. Like, fucking get over now. You got to heal me.
What's the follower? We didn't have any followers at the time. We were doing a little click thing. We didn't have time to do all that.
So you can get a crew of followers, NPC followers, and every boat has so many that you can have depending on what size. And they have different skills. Like there's pirates there that might be better at boarding. There's gunners that are better that help with your shooting. You can get medics that help with heals on the boat. There's all kinds of different ones you can get. You can obtain them through sinking boats, or not sinking boats, through killing all the crew members on a boat, boarding them, and then in their hold they might have a crew member, or through the begging skill. You have a chance of begging certain members to come be part of your crew.
I'm just waiting for Phoenix to come at me with a boat, and he's like running 2 or 3 NPC boats at me as well somehow. It then drops aggro on me, and I'm taking his shots plus 3 NPC boat shots.
I remember Phoenix's guild back on Ancorp 2. They owned the seas, and I was very clearly warned once. I went to their house, and he was like, if you're on land, you're a friend, but as soon as we see you out on seas, I'm going to kill you. And I was like, oh, all right, fair enough. And sure enough, we ran a dungeon once, and then the next day we're out on a boat. They sank our fucking ship. I remember.
Yeah. I'm staying away from the ocean for a while. I got to see how many people get out there first, and at least there'll be some cannon fodder to distract them while I go out,
We got our ship already, so Beard Brothers are going to be on the sea soon.
Oh, yeah?
Yep.
Oh, no.
Be prepared.
The last build question we had was a good starter build. What should a new player hop on?
If you've never played the game before, a standard Dexter is probably the best. It's the simplest in terms of being able to take any kind of just a basic character and just click on something and it dies, and then a simple healing mechanic just by clicking yourself. If you've kind of understand a little bit about Ultima Online, then I'd probably play a Dexter Bard. The ability to crowd control and mitigate how much you're fighting is very useful, and I think a lot of people overrate how hard the mobs can come onto you in the aggro range, but peacemaking makes it so you're able to manage what happens, and you can solo a lot of things with peacemaking and provoking.
Yeah, very nice. I made a warrior. I think I ran a peacemaker Dexter in beta, and I didn't do it for launch. And I may go back to the Prevelia Zoo and add a little bit to one of my warriors, but I haven't yet.
So I keep seeing these new mages, and they're like, "Hey, I blew out my spell stone, and I don't have any money for eggs. What do I do now?" And unfortunately, the answer is roll a warrior.
Yeah,
but maybe Owyn can put a gump, and it's like when they click the mage template, it can say, "Are you sure? Are you really sure you want to pick a mage?"
Yeah, it's magery on the servers. It's not hard, but the skill gain is slow, and the regents are hard to come by. And what's nice is that if you have a Dexter to support it, you can do a mage, but mages should be probably your 3rd or 4th character, I would say. I probably want to do it as my first.
Yeah.
Man, Carl, thanks for hopping on here and setting aside some time to talk to us and tell us about how launch went and everything, Beard Brothers and the power of the beard. Hanging out and talking to you. We'll have to get you back on, I think, once we're a little further in.
Yeah, no, thank you very much for having me. I really appreciate the chance to talk about the Beard Brothers and talk about everything that's going on, and means a lot. So thank you very much, gentlemen.
Yeah, I'm glad launch turned out great too. You guys got some good property, and guild's going strong. I think 90 something members now.
Oh no, we're over that now. How many are we at? 124 at the moment.
So Papa Carl, you want to give a quick plug to your guild for new players maybe looking for a home?
Sure. Yeah, if you guys want, my name is Papa Carl. I run the Beard Brothers. We're a PvE guild on Ultima Outlands, and we're here to help you guys. We're here to help everybody, whether you're in the guild or not. But if you are new to the game, or you're thinking about getting into the game, or if heck, you just want a guild to roll with, come join us. You can find me on Discord under Papa Carl, or if you just search for me, you'll be able to find me there. And yeah, if you guys want to come have fun, roll with us, just let me know. Love to have you. And all we ask is that you understand our beardy ways about helping everybody and wanting to enjoy Ultima. We don't like toxicity in our environment, and we don't tolerate it at all. So
Yeah, don't forget to mention your Twitch too.
oh yeah, so twitch.tv/papa_Carl. If you guys want, come watch me on there. I stream 3 to 4 times a week, and we get into shenanigans, either random builds or dungeon runs, or God, what was it the other day? We did a 20-minute AMA because the shard went down. But yeah, twitch.tv/papa_Carl.
And you put all those up to YouTube too. That's what I've been doing. I'll catch maybe one a week live, and then usually I'll watch them while I'm bored at work.
Yep. If you search UO Outlands, I'm actually on the video part after Owyn's launch video, number 2. And then Papa Carl on Twitch, YouTube as well.
You want to take us out, Mind Trip?
Anyway, thanks for listening. We'll try and get this episode up in the next couple of days.
We are going to record every Thursday live at 9 p.m. Central, which is 7 Pacific. Did I get that right?
Yes.
Yep. So we have a set time, a set date. That may vary depending on if we get a guest that's European or something. We make, we change it up for them to have them on the show. We tentatively we have Jaden for next week. That's assuming his schedule lines up. He is the current developer on the fork for Orion on UO Outlands. So we'll have lots of client talk. Plus, I'm sure he's got some good UO stories to share too. So.
Yeah, Jaden's a really cool dude, and I'm actually pretty excited to listen to that one, see what he has to say about the whole Orion in launch ordeal.
Yeah, and they're working on a C# fork that's called Classic UO, I think that's right, which is a hodgepodge of Orion and some other clients, and it'll be the same thing, high FPS, but he's got more help on that than he does with Orion, which is just him. So we may see that here in a month or two too.
Look forward to it. I think Orion is a cool idea. I think trying to come out with a patcher just a client that works well with Outlands.
I'm saving myself for Orion when it gets the total overhaul, but yeah, it looks very promising so far.
I'm such a spoiled kid. Like Ultima to me has a very nostalgic feel to it, and anytime I see it differently, I'm like, what is that? It's like colors. They got to be the way Ultima was.
Yeah.
Well, I can't leave Steam now that I've gotten used to Loot Grid.
Oh, it's amazing.
So, I'm a child of Razor, so I'm still sticking with Razor for now. It does what I need it to do.
All right, now take us out.
All right, guys. Thanks for joining us. We will see you next week, same time. Later.
Peace.
See you later. Thank you.